What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as we roll into the weekend, my fellow agents, I wanted to bring you a legendary tank build you can use either solo or in a group, and as you can see in the footage, I'm at a Stronghold, but this is a very great build for the Summit as well. Now, one thing I wanted to make sure I was going to highlight is the amount of damage you can withstand with a build like this, and as always, I want to mention as I start this off, this is one of so many different ways you can put a tank build like this together. I mean, you've seen multiple ones here at the channel, and the reason for that is because you may have certain pieces of gear that I highlight in a build, others may not, so I always want to give you a variation, and remember that the most important thing anytime you're putting a build like this together is to truly take your time, make a build your own, see what works for you and what doesn't, make slight adjustments, because that is truly going to help with you in your gameplay. Now, as always, we're going to start off with a specialization. Now, I'm using Technician, and I'm using that for two main reasons. First of all, you're going to get an extra 12% damage bonus to drones, skill proxies, and robotics. You are going to run into a bunch of those when you play legendary difficulty, but the main reason has to do with the fact that you also have access to the Artificer Hive, because with that and the combination of the gear set that we are using, that is why you saw in that previous footage my shield health shoot back up when it looks like I was near death. Thankfully, all of that stuff kicked in, and it really does help out. So starting off with the weapons, my primary for this build is the Liberty pistol, so what you put in slots 1 or 2 is completely up to you. Now, if you do not have this weapon, thankfully you do have a lot of other options to choose from. You could use the Regulus if you have that. You could use a D50 with a talent determined. You have a TDI card. You have the new Prophet handgun as well. And if there happens to be a sidearm that you enjoy using that I did not mention in this video, please feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. Again, we want to pass along as much information as we can. Now, as we make our way to the gear, you can see I'm running 3 Foundry, 1 Heliguard, 1 Brazos, and the Ninja Bike backpack. Now, all of you pretty much know how this thing works, and as you can see with the talent Resourceful, it slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus, can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. And for those of you out there who do not have this backpack, either because you missed last season or you accidentally deconstructed yours, it is now in the targeted loot pool, so your odds are much greater for picking it up. Making our way to the mask, it's the first of 3 pieces of the Foundry, but because we are using the Ninja Bike, we do get all 4 gear set bonuses. You can see 2 pieces 10% total armor, 3 pieces 1% armor regen and 50% shield health, and 4 pieces makeshift repairs. And with that talent, whenever you or your shield take damage, 20% of that amount is repaired to both over 15 seconds, and you'll notice on all of these pieces of gear, I'm trying to stack armor regen and protection from elites everywhere I can. Now, as we make our way to the body armor, you do have a bunch of options you can choose from. Now, if I'm rolling with a group, I always use Point Man, which is 1 piece of Heliguard, but again, because we have the Ninja Bike, we are getting 2 of those brand set bonuses. Now, with this talent, Perfect Vanguard, when you deploy a shield, it makes it invulnerable for 5 seconds and grants 50% of your armor as bonus armor to all other allies for 20 seconds. Now, if you happen to be running solo, what I recommend doing is switching your body armor to a piece of Douglas and Harding, because that is going to give you some extra pistol damage as well as stability, and you can use the regular talent Vanguard, as that will still get the job done. We now make our way to the holster. It is the 1 piece of Brazos. Again, because of the Ninja Bike, we do get 2 of the brand set bonuses. They are skill, haste, and an extra skill tier. And the reason I'm using this is for 2 reasons. First of all, that extra skill tier is going to help with the strength of my hive. And secondly, with this piece of gear, you get that core attribute armor, but you also get that 15% weapon damage as well. So it is a perfect one to put here. Now we move to the knee pads and the gloves, which are the 2 remaining pieces of the Foundry gear set. Now, as we make our way to the skills, I mentioned I'm using the Artificer Hive, and I'm also using the Bulwark Shield. Now, when it comes to the strength of these, with your shield, it is going to be dependent on not only the skill tiers that you have, but your armor cores as well. You can see, even though on the left it says I'm at skill tier 3, my shield is at skill tier 6, which then allows me to open up some of my core attributes to weapon damage, or you do have the option of putting a skill tier there as well, which will help with the strength of your hive. But in my opinion, you want to stack that weapon damage, and the reason for that, when it comes to legendary difficulty, whether you're playing a group or solo, there are sometimes when people put so much into that armor, their weapon is like a pea shooter. They cannot take out NPCs, so you want to have that good balance. As always, let me know if you have questions, comments, or feedback, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. On that note, my fellow agents, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage. It is when I'm in a group hitting up a stronghold, and I do want to apologize to the group leader. Yesterday when I was playing, I was having major connection issues, which caused me to get delted out multiple times. I do apologize for that. I did not bail on your group or anything like that. Now, as we look at the footage itself, you'll notice, and this is a tip for those of you who are just jumping into this difficulty, when you truly focus on making sure you do not get flanked and you keep your shield between yourself and other NPCs, you're pretty tanky. I mean, you're going to see here in a moment. I'm getting lit up by chungas left and right, or maybe not really left and right, more center, but you know what I'm saying. Like, the point is, you're taking a complete beatdown. This is a stronghold with multiple players, which means the NPCs are definitely going to hit harder, but this build still keeps me alive. I hope you enjoy it, and as I mentioned at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Found one.
An agent is no longer in your group.